Why society doesn't encourage us to be our true self, part 2. So, from the very beginning itself, from the schooling itself, we are taught, you have to appear confident, you have to look confident. Don't let any sign of stress or, anxiety get onto your face, okay? When you come on the stage or, stuff like that. It has always been there. All these things are there. Um, you're supposed to look happy, look cheerful, okay? Because people should know that something is great is happening with your life. Your life is great. You're supposed to, always show that face of your life, and I think it's completely idiotic. How can life be just only good? How can your relationships can only be good? Right? Isn't that idiotically, like, no one's life is idiotically perfect. And if anyone's life is that idiotically perfect, it's a gone case, it's a mental case. What are you here for? You are here for you to awaken your soul. You are going to be thrown challenges, Your your own soul is going to manifest challenges in your life. Your own soul is going to manifest karmic relationships in your life. You know, these things are going to happen. The only shift that you really need in your life is your perception, okay? But but we know what's really happening, with no, but you have to put a very beautiful image of your life, in front of people, and people will are desperately trying to show it, okay, on their faces that their life is good. They will sit on the tables, on these round tables, on these kind of tables, and on every friend or every, your relative or whatever, they're supposed to show how beautiful or, how interesting their life is, and how amazing their life is going on, or what is trending and how much they are into trends, you know. Um, oh God, I just wish कभी spirituality trend ना करे यार. I just wish you should do spirituality not because it is trend, but because it's your you one day you really realize that's your need, and not because it's a trend. If one day spirituality starts a trend, people are going to do it. Okay, and I'm just so scared of that. People are going to do it because other people are doing it. That's how people are. People just do it because other people are doing it, you know. But, but still, I guess, even if it, in the name of trend, they're gonna try it, and maybe they just, maybe somehow they get a, maybe just somehow they, find out the real spirituality, maybe accidentally or whatever. Maybe they land up in the right place, even if they start as trend, but no, because when I was doing my spiritual journey, I used to hear a whole lot of people saying things. When I started my Saint Cracked, when I started my page, I heard a whole lot of people, saying things that this is not right about your page, that is, and I don't know. I think I hold space for people around me, and I held space for people around me. And that's why, they could just say all those things to me, because I held space for that. But thank God I didn't believe anything and everything that people said to me. Everybody has opinions and judgments, more than opinions and judgment, it was also more about their intentions. Well, let's say. So, yeah, that is not the point. We just digressed for a moment. The point was that, yeah, from very beginning on, you are shown, to show a very nice picture of yourself, to show a very. Do you know about Jim Carrey? He is a Bollywood actor, and I really loved his movie Mask. I was a kid, when I really saw that movie, and it was amazing. So yeah, so Jim Carrey also had a spiritual awakening, I think way before. And he said that, my mother was actually a depressed soul. So, I felt that. He was also an empath somewhere. All these spiritual people, were really waking up right now. They never compromised on their sensitivity. That's what has really exactly happened. So, these people have never compromised on their sensitivity, and he also never compromised on it. you know he was very sensitive, he was very careful. So his mother was actually a very depressed soul. So he used to, he himself says, I used to make my mother laugh, I used to make everyone around me laugh, I used to do all of this. And he was truly an empath. And then he said that I was playing this character. you know Sometimes empath sensitive ones, we can do that. you know I was always a more spiritually mature one. you know and I always had, people lot in their ego around me. Okay. And so by ego, by the way, is that, you can look up for my video. What is really ego is that you are really, in your you're really in your traumas. All these traumas, and all these fears, insecurities, they make you go into a shell, and that shell is ego. Basically, you can look up for my video where I've talked about how inferiority complex, superiority complex, both are kinds of ego as well. So I always had, I was always spiritually mature, and I always had, these egoistic people around me, people who have not, who are in the chains of their traumas. Okay. So I used to play that part myself. I used to play that part of, comforting these people around me unknowingly, very, not completely unknowingly, but yeah, somewhere subconsciously. I won't say it completely unconsciously, but yeah, somewhere subconsciously I was playing that part, for people around me. I was not being myself. And to some extent everybody do that, especially for the close ones, or especially for the ones they want to keep close. So somewhere, you do that, right? To some extent. So, and then he had a spiritual awakening, and then he really realized, and who he was and what he was. You can go and look up for Jim Carrey's spiritual awakening as well. So, since starting, you are, somewhere taught, that this is like you have to appear like this. We The fact that we are taught manners in school, we are taught gentleman behaviors in school, gentlewoman behaviors in school, we are taught table manners, and I think there are workshops and stuff for soft skills, and ah, I will never learn this my whole life. I swear. I want to live my life wild. I swear, I will never learn these stupid manners. I've never understood why they're table manners. Like, we have to keep folk like this. We have to keep. And I don't get it. Why you have to. I don't. I mean, it's like. It's like I came on earth. Okay, I'm here to have experiences. I'm here to have challenges on earth. And all I gotta do, sometimes is, make I really have to really go and link my phone number to my Aadhaar card. I have to do these stupid things. I have to go, and I don't know, I just hated linking my number with Aadhaar card. And there are a whole lot of small bank things I have to do. And they're like, I'm here to have, and I'm like, don't come in between my spiritual journey. I'm here focusing, and I have to do this stupid job as well. I have to go to bank, do this, do these short things, link my phone number again, and so yeah. So this is my PPF account. It's just so stupid, sometimes to do all of these things. But yeah, but Yeah. But especially, let's just come. Still, we can avoid some things. Some things are still okay for the safety measures. We have to have our Aadhaar card and everything. Yeah, some things are for the safety measures, and we have to go by the law and rules. And I get it. I get it. We cannot completely ignore that. But table manners, like, I mean, if I really sit in a crowd of, people with to follow table manners or something, I'll make sure that I eat with my hands. I'm gonna make sure that I eat with my hands. Like, I don't know, I just always feel being a rebel, in places where people are just too programmed, or too. Maybe I won't sit at the table first of all, but if somehow I sit at this table, I'm gonna make sure I eat with my hands when everyone is eating with fork and knives and whatever. I mean, I also use fork and spoon. I get it. Sometimes it's needed. You need two spoons, to get in things together, especially with noodles and stuff like that. But there are some extreme, table manners with certain things. If I don't know, and then there's soft skills. This is how you have to talk to people. Have you, I don't know, I've not really read that book. Somebody gave me that book, How to Influence People and How to Make Friends and Influence People. This is the book that I got, and I think, oh, hell with people. Really, I don't want to influence them. I don't want to, help with people. I don't want to. I mean, what has happened to adults? They've really forgotten the art of making friends. A kid knows how to make friends, and it's so easy. We just go and play with them. They know that they just go and they just look at each other, and they just start playing, and they never know when they became friends, right? You know, it's just so easy. You don't have to really write a like 250-page book, to understand how to make friends and then influence them also. Why influence them? Why do I have to influence them? Like, I don't get these adult things sometimes. Okay, I just don't. So, yeah, the whole thing right now, in life is that what I'm really trying to make a point here is that, they will, why we are taught manners and everything, because somewhere subconsciously you are being told that we cannot trust you. Subconsciously you are being told that you cannot be trusted with your own nature. That is why we're going to teach you some manners. We're going to teach you some soft skills. We're going to teach you how to talk. We're going to teach you how to greet people. you know we're going to teach you certain things, to smile, and have you seen certain people in certain good positions? Their smile is so damn fake. Why would you smile like that? I mean, I feel like breaking their teeth. I swear, sometimes I just do feel like why would you just smile if you don't want to smile? Like fuck. I mean, like just leave people. Like, why do you have to smile because people want you to smile? Just don't, no, just don't, right? So, yeah, they will always tell you to keep up a mask. You cannot be yourself. You cannot you cannot be yourself. And if you ever try to be yourself, you will have problems with your employees. You want to have problem with your employers. And isn't that okayish to have problem in your relationships, into interpersonal relationships, into your workplaces, with your colleagues, with your employers, with your employees? Isn't that natural? And mm, you know come on, I think it is natural to have problems, to have disagreements, you know but no, you have to keep certain. I'm completely in favor of politeness. Yeah, I am not saying go and just start abusing a person and everything. No, but I completely trust with my nature. I know when to raise my voice and I know when not to raise my voice. I am completely in sync, with my own nature, with my own soul. I know when to and when not to. you know I have come to a place of utter clarity within my own self. I have gone through those trials, and I've gone through those spiritual phases, and I know what to do and what not to do. But but and everyone knows how, everyone can be in tune with themselves and know what to do and what not to do. But the very fact that you are taught, these manners, very soon, in your life, you have to open the door for the lady. And I mean, like, cut the crap, literally. Like, you do it if you want to do it. Just as simple as that. If you really feel respectful towards somebody, just do it. Okay? And if you can't feel respectful, it's just okay. You know? I mean, I don't want somebody to respect me if that person doesn't feel it towards me, right? I would not want somebody to respect me if that person doesn't feel. I want to live with people who are authentic and true. I don't want to live in any false ideas of, I don't want to live in any false happiness. Okay, and if somebody can't do that for me, it's just okay. What's the big deal? Am I too insecure that I'll get triggered if somebody doesn't, do it that way for me? So we are taught table manners. I remember somebody just um somebody just told me once that, you should greet, before you really start having conversation of something. So it's an office space I am in, and somebody, just said that you should greet before you really start to have a conversation. And I was like, yeah, yeah, okay, fine, I will. Matlab, I just made a reply that I have to make. And then I was like, she and then I was like, really thought to myself that how triggered she was, because she didn't get the respect, and now she is forcefully really trying to get the respect, and that too in the form of a greeting, that too in the form of a greeting or a good morning or whatever. And maybe I'll just say those words to her, but I'll just never mean it from now on. You know what I mean? So yeah, and she must be really, and she's an adult, she's a middle-aged adult, and she must be really, craving for, she must be really with that, sitting with that insecurity within her own self, and if if she doesn't get that kind of a thing, she's gonna get so triggered. And actually, I don't know, and these adults are the ones who are teaching children in school. I am also imperfect being, okay? I have really gone through a very major ego death, and I'm still on my path, and I am also imperfect in many ways, and yeah, and it's just, I am at least in my truth, you know, I am at least in my truth, and that gives me the power, that's how I hold my power. The power always lies in being in truth, not being in somebody else, at the end of the day. So yeah, just really wanted to, talk about how, people and society, and and who is whispering into these ears of society, who? The matrix people. Okay, the people who will never appear in front of you, the people you will never get to know, who are really whispering into these ears of society. Society is being programmed, and you will never know who has programmed this society, from where these programming has come. These, they will be always invisible, these people will always be invisible. Okay, society will program itself. It will make authorities, it will make, the lower authorities, and and they'll interact, they will make, you know these people who are really, who have some benefits around, for, making society that way. They really benefit out of making society that way. So what they will make is, they will make, um you know they will make victims, they will make, the bullies, the narcissists, they're going to make two parties, make them fight, or, that's how their matrix will work. If you really look at the society right now very clearly, then you will find that there are kind of people who are really hungry, who are really, they don't have food, they don't have stuff, and then there are people who are very, you know, middle class or something, and they're doing good with their life, and they just don't care now. And that's how the matrix is running, because some people, because what how is that they are doing this, how are they're playing out this matrix? They are taking a lot from some people. That's how the matrix is working. Okay, these people who are the matrix runners, they will always be invisible. You will never know them, you will just never know them. They, they will whisper into ears of the faces that just appear. Okay, but those faces that appear are not the ones. They are so much programmed into it somehow. Do you know even Britishers, when they came, they, they programmed us, to, so that we become, their, um, we become the person they can rule over. They program us for many years. They program us into our insecurities. तुम्हें इंग्लिश नहीं आती, अरे एक लैंग्वेज ही तो है. Agar, if you really look at it very close, is English is just a language. They made us very insecure. Their education, if you read their education papers, the papers that were written by these Britishers, if you read these papers, education papers, commission papers, how we were manipulated into believing that English was certainly a very, high level and high standard and really wise literature in verses, so, in these commission papers, in these education commission papers, if you really read, you will find how we're being manipulated into believing that, English was a high standard and, high literature, whereas our literature or our belief systems, were very illogical. And, they even manipulated our scriptures, even any kind of invaders that came into our, Indian society or our Bharatiya society, they really manipulated the structures, they really manipulated our history, so that we forget it. But and we don't pass it down the generations, over the generations they made us question, our own culture. It was such a strategy. They programmed us into believing that they should rule us. Okay, and imagine we were stuck in that for like so many years. For over a course of 100 years, we were stuck with Mughal invaders, then with, Britishers and everything. They actually made us believe that we were somebody to be ruled by a Western society. We had a slavery. Blacks were into slavery. They were actually made to believe that black color is an inferior color and you are supposed to be slaves because you have a black color of a skin. Sometimes I really think, let's say if I really was born into, some kind of a family or something where, I where, I am being encouraged or I am being programmed into becoming a terrorist, I would have, isn't it? If you look at the stats, how do they make these terrorists? Of course, one reason is unemployment. They really take these unemployed peoples and everything, they also, trade their unemployment like that. And of course, but many of them are really trained from the very beginning. While they are they are made to breed hatred, for the other community. They're made to breed hatred for the other community. They are literally programmed since childhood. Okay, so this programming is a big game. Okay, it's a very big game and you don't realize it yet. Yeah, so where were we? Just where were we? Where were we? Before education, what I was really trying to say. Just give me a second. Yeah, so I was on the point that how Matrix is being really programmed on our planet. If you see that there will be certain people, people who are doing good, who are doing fine with their life, and they are employing people who are, um, people who are not very good with their life. Okay, and how the matrix is matrix is really programmed. How these people who really programmed the matrix, they're really intelligent people. They know the truth. I've also said in one of my posts that demons know the truth, God knows the truth. They both know the truth. But God tries to tell you and demon tries to hide it from you. So these people, they also know the truth, but they don't want you to know. They want to make you stuck. So how do they do that? So they want to keep some portion of the people happy, and they want to keep some portion of the people really exploiting. Really, they really want to make them deprive of things and everything. What they're gonna do with people, how they're gonna really make them happy. They're gonna program them for happiness. Go and watch Saturday movies, Sunday movies, distract yourself with television, never see your traumas, never see that you're living in a very stupid world. Never see that you're living in a program world. Go and have some fun, go and have some party. Oh, here you can take alcohol. Oh, here you can take drugs. You know what's happening in Punjab, right? You know what's happening in USA's as well, all those zombies, drugs, and everything that has appeared, you know. So here have drugs, here have alcohols, here you can just, flush away your pain, have these drugs, have these alcohol, forget your culture, forget your dharma, okay, move away from that. So they, how do this matrix work? They're going to keep some people really happy, and they're going to program them for happiness. Okay, so they are really double away from God. People who are really crying or really getting exploited, at least, they know you know they know the truth of the situation. But people who are programmed to be happy, they will never even know the truth of the situation. I am a psychic. I can deeply look into things. I am very much in my feminine energies. I can deeply look into people. I know people aren't happy, but they are programmed to be happy. And then they have to sit in, tables. They have to sit on those tables where everyone has to tell something good happening into their life. So everyone is going to tell a very good story about their life, and how they're having all the fun, but inside they're really crying, and they themselves don't know that. Even if they know that, they are not supposed to tell on that table. The table is only meant for you to show your Gucci bag. That the table is only meant for you to tell how you've been dealing with your mental health issues, and everything crap that doesn't even mean anything to you. I have seen many people who say that we are into spirituality and stuff like that, and they don't know a heck about spirituality. They don't know the S of spirituality, right? And it's and I'm not trying to really belittle somebody. It's spirituality is not like a kind of a information or something, but they're really trying to really betray themselves into, they are into it because they think it's a trend, or maybe they're gonna look cool about it. You know what I mean to say? And they're still working from the place of ego. They're still not real with themselves. And I'm not really trying to belittle somebody over here, that, but I know people who go for parties and everything, and they're still spiritual. They don't go to temples, but they're still spiritual. They don't know it themselves. I know those people. And then I know those people who say that we are into spirituality, but they're not. They are not. They're just trying to look cool little, right? I hope I'm able to make my point clear, right? So yeah, never sit at those tables where, you know, they cannot embrace who you are. Where you cannot embrace who you are at your life right now. If even if you're a loser at life right now, what's the big deal? You know, and thank God I was a big loser in the material world. Literally, I was a big loser, and I was literally a clown in the material world, in the 3D world. But I'm such a hero in my 5D spiritual world. I'm so connected to my spiritual world. I'm so connected to the spirit realm, and I know how things work, and I can, work it out. And कहते हैं ना, भगवान के घर में देर है पर देर नहीं. So he takes time. Gods take time. So Demon is quick. You know how smart and clever people always find their way back into the 3D world, into the material world, but I just couldn't, because I was always, I couldn't be that smart, clever girl, ever. I was working from my heart. I was working from the place of truth. I was working with God, and God takes time, you know, and there has to come a point where, there had to come a point where, yeah, where I had to realize and I had to really see how beautiful I was. It is really something that I cannot fully explain how it really feels like, you know. Yeah. I hope you like the video. Thank you for watching. Comment down below if you feel that you sit at those tables, or in what or how in or which ways society or the matrix expresses or wants you to be simply more than yourself. Can you just think of any example where you've been programmed that way, or you're expected to be a certain way, where you are expected to be more than where you are at your life right now? What's the harm being a loser? you know why can't we accept being a loser? If we accept being a loser, then there is always a possibility of being a winner in the future, right? You can always change time, you can always conquer time, you can always conquer life. But I guess people don't believe in that. People don't believe in possibilities. That's why they always sit on the tables and talk about how good their life is, rather than talking about where they really are in their life right now. Thank you for watching the video again.